Well, good morning, friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal, and this is Homemaking on the Homestead. And in today's video, and today's Coffee with Crystal, I have a book to share with you that has been so fun and encouraging for me to go through. It's an older book. I also wanted to talk about stress in the home and some ideas on how to reduce that, as well as all the other chatty things that we like to talk about. Okay, guys, grab your cup of coffee and let's chat. So it's crazy sometimes how life just kind of catches up with you, or catches, all the stuff just kind of starts overwhelming you. That's definitely what happened in the last couple of weeks. And so for me, I was trying to get ahead on videos. I was filming, and of course at the same time dealing with my home and getting reestablished. And I just kind of ran out of time for videos. And then before I know it, we were off to visit family, and I just couldn't get the videos. So I came home and then had the same thing kind of happen. Just lots of things started happening. My kids were here over the weekend and continuing to get their things out, and I spent a lot of time with them. And so I tried to get my video filmed, and I was working on it, but I just couldn't get Tuesday's video finished, which you'll see that one this coming Tuesday. So I did get it finished. So, and now I have time for this. Just to let you guys know, also, in speaking of just videos that are behind or late or missing or whatever, that we have a family reunion coming up very soon. So one of my daughters down in California is hosting it this year. And, so I'm like, looking at my calendar and looking at all the things on my to-do list. It's like, can I get all this together and get out of here and get to that family reunion? So if I miss a few videos, just make sure you check the community tab page on my site, on my channel page, and I will keep you updated there and let you know if I am not able to get some videos out or what's going on. But after that, life should settle way down, and I should be back into a very stable Tuesday, Friday. I like it that way, but family life comes, and that's important too. So, and all the changes I'm going through at the moment as well have just kind of thrown me for a loop. Next on my list is asking you guys, what are you having for dinner? I have been loving my crock pot meals. So I did a couple videos on chicken ones and beef crock pot meals, and let me tell you, I have been utilizing those like nobody's business. Because when I am busy and doing all these things, it is so nice to just dump those meals into the crock pot and know at the end, all I have to do is add maybe some noodles or rice or something like that, and we are good to go. So we've been enjoying that. Tonight, however, I'm not sure. I didn't take one out of the freezer last night. Yesterday we were finishing off leftovers from the honey Dijon chicken, which I had been years since I made it, and oh my gosh, that was so good. My husband went on and on about that one. You can find that one in my chicken crock pot meals. If you haven't seen that video, I can post it up here and down below. The other thing I have in my freezer is some leftover soup. I have things like fish sticks and some already cooked rotisserie chicken. I thought I could pull that out and do something creative with that. So I'm at like one of those points where I'm not quite sure at this point what I'm having, but who knows, maybe one of you guys will suggest something and that'll give me some great ideas, at least for the meals coming up for me. So please do share down in the comments what you are cooking for dinner. I have loved those comments. You guys are so great. I'm getting more and more people commenting and sharing their meals and their cooking, and that has been so fun, and I just appreciate it so much. I'm meeting all kinds of new people, and it is just helping my channel really grow, and it has been great. And I appreciate all the feedback and everybody who comments. Comments and likes and things like that definitely help my channel grow and get me into that crazy YouTube algorithm where, the more, if you have comments and likes and stuff, then YouTube is more likely to show my channel to people who have similar interests. So that would be great if you could remember to do that, and let me know what you're having for dinner. So the next thing I wanted to share with you was this book. It is not a very big book, as you can see. It's a hardback. I got it from Thrift Books. I don't think I paid more than $4 or $5 for it. It was not very expensive. It's called Household Wisdom, Traditional Homemaking Tips for Modern Living by Stephanie Donaldson. When you put in household wisdom into the thrift books search, there's actually quite a few books named Household Wisdom. So I was like, I might have to go back and see what other books appeal to me. So when I saw the title of this book, what appealed to me was the Traditional Homemaking Tips for Modern Living. It was like, this must be something that will have a whole lot of tips. Oh, by the way, the book was published in 2000. And pictures, look at these. The book is full of these big, large, full-color pictures, very inspiring and very enjoyable. Just show you a few of them so you can kind of get the idea. You see all these beautiful pictures, very inspiring. How much household wisdom in there for the modern day, I wasn't able to draw out like anything huge. I like the fact that they give you tips, on, like, of course, the picture I just showed you, that was under the title Fireplaces and Stoves. And it talks about cleaning out your stove and like if you have a wood stove, or making sure your chimney's clean. If you use your chimney, make sure you clean that every year, or at least check it. Just basic tips like that. And so for that, the book is good. I mean, you get a lot of good maintenance tips, household tips, and another pretty picture there. So aside from just the nuts and bolts of homemaking, she also has things in here like this section that I just showed you the picture is on potpourri. And it talks about, having them boiling on the stovetop, or in a bowl of dried fruit, not fruits, but dried leaves and things that smell nice. And then I thought it was really cute because she has a summer garden potpourri. So then she gives you a recipe so that you can make your own potpourri. So again, very encouraging. And this is all under the section living room. I will have to say, as I am moving back into my house and setting up my home again, it has given me so much time for thought. What do I want it to look like today versus what it did prior to this? All the years of raising my kids, I had things set up a certain way. I did things a certain way because I had a large family, and I was constantly having people in and out of the house and friends of my kids, and it was just always a busy place. And so I functioned in a particular way, and I did things in a particular way because of that. Now that I don't have that, I am really re-examining everything, and it has been so great to just be able to have like this fresh start. And I've shared the story, so you can look back in, I think it's the changes on the Homestead if you're unaware, if this is your first time here, what is going on. But back in 2019, I really just purged my house because I no longer had kids at home, and I had so much stuff. It was just a year of countless trips to Goodwill, to the dump, and just clearing and tossing and making difficult decisions. I realized at that point half of the battle of purging and cleaning your house is decision making. It can be so overwhelming sometimes, and emotional as well, because you have a lot of memories and life experience attached to the things that you have. But at some point, again, and I made this comment because it was something that one of you ladies shared, I had to look at everything and know whether or not it served me at this point in my life or whether it needed to go. So I was really able to get rid of so much. And now that I am moving back into the house, it's like, okay, it's a fresh start. What do I want it to, what do I want it to look like? What is my main goal? One of the goals that I really have right now is minimalism and simplicity. I'm not like thinking radical minimalism. I mean, I watched a YouTube with a lady that didn't even have furniture in her house because it took up space. She just sat on the floor, and I'm like, okay. She didn't even have a shower curtain. I'm like, okay, in my mind, I don't want to be rude and whatever, but that gets to the point. That's pushing ridiculous to me. That's like extreme minimalism. I'm not even, a diehard minimalist, so I'm probably, somewhere in the middle. But I like the concept of minimalism simply because it helps keep things well defined and easy to organize and easy to maintain. The more we bring on things and stuff and whatever, we need to find a place for it. And if we don't, then it ends up in piles, in rooms, in closets, and all those things. And I just think that there is I don't want to go that direction. So I would like to go to the minimalist. So I've been slow to bring new things into the house, or even the things that I already have that have been in storage. I'm really slowly bringing them in and deciding, does it serve me? Does this get me in the direction I want to go? Whether it's, like a decorating style or or just the feel of the home. I have been in homes that are, more on the minimalist side and can often feel cold or not cozy. And so being cozy is really important to me. I want people that walk into my home to feel welcomed and to feel an immediate sense of, peace, and just all of that. Like their stress levels can be left, outside, and they can come in and enjoy their time in my home. That would be my goal. I'm finding that a lot of the pictures in this book are incredibly inspiring. I find them to be, I can look at them and say, that looks cozy, that looks nice. How would I emulate something similar to that in my home in order to give it the same cozy feel? So I have really enjoyed this book. And have looked at it over and over and over again, not so much for the wisdom and the hints and things like that, because they're, pretty basic, but for the pictures and just the inspiration. It's been a lot of fun. So that got me thinking about how sometimes homemaking can end up being kind of stressful, and how much does our environment have to do with that? How much do the things that we create as we create a home have to do with adding on the stress? I know that and I'm not advocating minimalism for everybody or middle of the road minimalism for everybody, because I know people are all different, and everybody has their own style. I find when I am in somebody's house that has a lot of like knickknacks and things all over the place, it really feels cluttered to me, and it doesn't feel that relaxing, stress-free feeling. Now that could be me, of course, because of my own desires, but that is something that I do experience. And I'm curious whether anybody else feels that way too. Or, what are the things in your life and in your home that you do to reduce the stress? That would really be interesting to see, because, like I said, we're not all the same. And so something that I might find to be stressful, somebody else might find to be completely the opposite. I'm going to share a few things that I kind of jotted down that help make a home feel less stressful and more relaxing. So one of the big ones, of course, is clutter. And you have that those traveling piles of clutter. I remember that years ago when the kids were home. It was like, oh my gosh. You get something into a pile, and then you move the pile to a different room, a different place. And now, of course, that room looks great, but now you have that pile of clutter, someplace else. And that to me goes back to either, does it have a home? Where does it go? And do you need it? Is it serving you? Is it something that could easily be, maybe gotten rid of, given away, or something like that? Is it mail that needs to be dealt with? Create those routines that when the mail comes, you immediately deal with it type of thing. Go through those clutter piles. Find homes and find ways to organize things. The saying, a place for everything and everything in its place, right? So my husband he likes comics, and he has a paper that he subscribes to, and so he's always reading the comics to me. But there was one that, the kid had an extremely messy room, and his comment about his messy room was, Well, you know how it is, a place for everything and everything all over the place. So that kind of cracked me up. Yeah, we need to have designated places for the things that we have, so that we can help avoid those clutter piles. The other thing that I wanted to share, I think I've shared this in the past, was from Cheryl Mendelssohn's book, Home Comforts. She talked about the broken window theory. In a neighborhood, if you have juveniles and whatever, people that are out to do no good in the neighborhood, and they put graffiti on the walls or whatever, and then they abandoned buildings, abandoned homes, they throw rocks through it, they break the windows. The message that gives to other people coming into the neighborhood is that that they can continue doing the same thing, and so that will cause the neighborhood to just continue to go downhill, because other kids up to no good or young people up to no good come in and they see this, and again they just add to it, whether it's more broken windows or more graffiti or garbage everywhere. And so it is that that system of you see something and you just add to it. So and in the home, it could be very mild, simple things. You walk into the house and you lay your car keys on your kitchen counter. Okay, then maybe a little while later, you have a magazine you've been reading and you set that on the kitchen counter. And then maybe your husband comes in and he has something and he sees the magazine and the keys, and so he adds whatever it is he has in his hands onto the counter. And then pretty soon, maybe in the kitchen table there is you throw your coat over the chair. All of these things, of course, add up to your home looking fairly messy and not so comfortable. And then pretty soon you have it in enough places that you're like, okay, I've got to deal with this. And now we'll spend a lot of time just dealing with all these things in piles that have been created. So the idea is, in order to make a stress-free situation, is that for each of these things there is a process. The keys go into a basket or onto a hook on the wall. The magazines go into a magazine holder or onto the bookshelf. The sweaters go into the closet or onto a hook that you have designated for these things. And if you make good personal practices where you follow through on those things, then you will have a neat and tidy home. And a neat and tidy and orderly home is going to feel a whole lot less stressful. Okay, ladies, I think that pretty much covers everything I was going to chat with you about today. Don't forget in the comments to let me know, of course, what you're having for dinner, but also let me know, I'm really curious about things that you do, practices, your daily practices that help reduce stress in the home and help to keep things feeling cozy and feeling comfortable. And, maybe I'm thinking more about cozy because we're walking into fall. I don't know. Right now, my windows are open and I'm letting the breeze in because it's warm. But fall is coming. So maybe that's why my mind's on cozy. So do let me know what kind of things you do on a regular basis to make your home feel cozy. Don't forget the likes on this video, please. I really appreciate that. And I think that wraps it up for today. So I'll see you all in my next video. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.